In the Philippines, the night is not just darkness. It is uncertainty. When the sun sets and villages grow quiet, people listen closely, not for footsteps, but for something far worse. A soft fluttering sound, like wings, like something circling overhead, because that's when the Aswang hunts. The Aswang is not one creature. It is many. By day it looks human, friendly, ordinary, familiar. A neighbor, a healer, someone you greet every morning without fear. By night it becomes something else entirely. In some stories, the Aswang transforms into a dog, a bird, or a shadow that slips between trees. In others, it becomes a manananggal, a horrifying version that splits its body in half, leaving its legs behind as wings sprout from its torso, floating silently through the dark. Looking for prey, the Aswang does not attack openly. It stalks quietly, patiently, feeding on fear and isolation. It is said to target the vulnerable, pregnant women, the sick, the lonely, those who wander too far from home. Villagers tell of nights when someone heard scratching on the roof, or felt a presence watching through bamboo walls, or noticed their dog refusing to stop barking at empty air. And the most terrifying detail? The Aswang doesn't just feed on bodies. It feeds on trust, because no one knows who it really is. That friendly neighbor? That quiet widow? That healer who lives just beyond the fields? Anyone could be hiding a second nature. That's why communities developed protections. Not just physical, but social. People stayed together. They watched over one another. They shared food, light, and stories after dark. Garlic was hung at doors. Salt was scattered at thresholds. Sharp tools were kept nearby, not for violence, but for warning. But the strongest defense was community vigilance. Isolation made people vulnerable. Connection kept them alive. In folklore, when someone was suspected of being an Aswang, it wasn't fear that exposed them. It was patterns. Someone avoiding gatherings, someone never aging, someone who disappeared at night and returned before dawn. The Aswang represents more than a monster. It represents what happens when trust breaks down, when fear spreads faster than truth, when people stop looking out for one another. That's why Aswang stories are told to children, not just to scare them, but to remind them, don't wander alone, don't ignore warning signs, and never assume danger looks dangerous, because sometimes the monster wears a familiar face. In Philippine folklore, the Aswang is a reflection of the night itself, shapeless, deceptive and unforgiving to those who underestimate it. So when darkness falls and the air grows still, lock your doors, stay close to others. And remember, survival isn't just about strength. It's about watching out for each other. If you want the next folklore story, say next.